Remember the moment Zara walked out of the gallery and left two of Seoul's most powerful men standing behind her? Her engagement ring had fallen, her hidden past had been exposed, and the truth about the pregnancy she carried 6 years earlier had changed everything. Hyun-wook had just discovered that Zara had once been pregnant with his child. Tae-gyeom had learned that the woman he planned to marry still carried feelings for the man she had never truly forgotten. Now, one man wants the second chance he was denied. The other is prepared to prove that the future Zara built with him is stronger than the past calling her back. But Zara is no longer the heartbroken woman who ran away 6 years ago. This time, she will not allow either man to decide her life for her. So who will she choose? The billionaire who was her first love, or the powerful mafia boss who became her safe place? And what will happen when they discover that the secret revealed inside the gallery was only the beginning? Before we continue, subscribe to Afro K World and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss the final part of Zara's story. Then tell us in the comments, who should Zara choose, Hyun-wook or Tae-gyeom? Now let us return to the two powerful men Zara left standing inside the gallery. Inside the gallery, Tae-gyeom studied the disabled screen. Juntae arrived with a security team. The system was accessed remotely, Juntae said. By Dae-jin? Tae-gyeom asked. It appears so. Hyun-wook stood near the window. You knew the Cha family wanted a woman removed from my life, he said. Tae-gyeom turned toward him. Yes. And you signed the payment? Yes. Why? I was 29 and trying to prevent my brother from taking control of the organization. He presented the contract as surveillance connected to political risk. You did not ask who was being watched? No. Hyun-wook's anger rose. Your carelessness helped destroy us. Tae-gyeom did not defend himself. Yes. The simple admission stopped Hyun-wook. Tae-gyeom looked toward the door Zara had used. I did not know the woman was Zara, he continued, but ignorance does not remove my responsibility. Hyun-wook studied him. What was the order meant to do? The original instruction was to observe the woman and confirm whether she was connected to a competitor targeting your family. She was a business consultant. I know that now. And after the investigation found nothing? Dae-jin continued without authorization. He accepted additional money from your mother and altered Zara's records. Hyun-wook's jaw tightened. Can you prove that? Yes. Then why did you not tell Zara before tonight? I learned the full details after the engagement party. You still waited. For 2 days. 2 days of deciding what she was allowed to know. Tae-gyeom looked at him. You are correct. Hyun-wook had expected an argument. Instead, Tae-gyeom accepted the criticism. It did not make Hyun-wook like him, but it made hatred more difficult. Juntae approached with a tablet. We found the source of the medical record, he said. It was accessed through a clinic database by a company connected to Dae-jin. Tae-gyeom's expression hardened. He displayed her private grief to divide us. Hyun-wook looked toward the dark screen. And it may work. No, Tae-gyeom said. It will not. You sound certain. I am certain of what I will do. What is that? Tell Zara the complete truth and allow her to decide what it means. Hyun-wook's gaze sharpened. And if she chooses me? Tae-gyeom looked at the ring lying in Zara's closed hand in his memory. Then I will not become another man who punishes her for choosing her own life. The answer surprised them both. The following morning, Zara arrived at her office before sunrise. She had barely slept. Her assistant, Amara, found her standing beside the window. You should be at home, Amara said. I did not want to be there. Amara placed a cup of tea on the desk. Both men called. Zara looked over. What did you tell them? That you were unavailable. Did they argue? No. That surprised her. Amara sat across from her. I am going to say something you may not like. Zara gave a tired smile. You usually do. You are trying to decide which man deserves you before deciding what you need. Zara looked toward the city. I need the truth. You already have part of it. Hyun-wook did not betray me. No. Tae-gyeom signed the contract. Yes. And I kept something from both of them. Amara's voice softened. The pregnancy was yours to reveal. Hyun-wook had a right to know. Perhaps, but you were hurt, isolated and convinced he had chosen someone else. You made the decision with the information you had. Zara sat down. What if I had listened? You might have stayed with him. The possibility hurt, Amara continued. But then you might never have built Kalu International. You might never have met Tae-gyeom. That does not make the loss acceptable. No, it only means your life cannot be reduced to one road you did not take. Zara looked at the engagement ring on her desk. What do I do now? Stop allowing both men to stand in the same room while you search your heart. Speak to them separately. Zara nodded slowly. She knew which man she needed to see first. Hyun-wook arrived at Zara's office an hour later. He entered quietly and stopped several feet from her desk. His eyes looked tired. Zara did not offer him a seat immediately. The pregnancy was yours, she said. Hyun-wook closed his eyes. The answer appeared to take the strength from him. How far along, he asked. Not far. What happened? I lost it. He lowered his head. Zara continued before he could ask more. I found out after I reached Singapore. I considered calling you. Why did you not? Because I believed you had cheated on me. I thought your family would see the child as another problem to remove. Hyun-wook's eyes filled. They would never have touched our child. You did not stop them from touching my life. The truth hurt him. He nodded. You are right. Zara moved toward the window. I went to the clinic alone. Hyun-wook remained silent. I returned home alone, she continued. Then I woke the next morning and decided no one would ever have enough power over me to leave me that helpless again. I should have been there. Yes, Zara said. You should have. He did not ask her to comfort him. He did not claim the grief as his own. He stood quietly and allowed her anger to exist. After a long silence, Hyun-wook spoke. I am sorry you carried that alone. Zara looked at him. I am sorry you were never told. He stepped closer but stopped before reaching her. Does Tae-gyeom know? He knows what he saw on the screen. Will you tell him? Yes. Hyun-wook looked at the ring on her desk. Do you still intend to marry him? Zara's expression tightened. I did not ask you here to discuss my engagement. I need to know whether there is still a chance for us. You said you only wanted me to hear the truth. I did. Then I saw you again. Zara looked away. Hyun-wook's voice became quieter. I tried to be satisfied with clearing my name. I cannot pretend that is all I want. What do you want? You. The word rested between them. Hyun-wook continued. Not because you once loved me, not because we lost years. I want the woman standing in front of me now. Zara's emotions shifted. Part of her had waited 6 years to hear him fight for her, but the woman who once needed those words was no longer the woman making the decision. I still feel something for you, she admitted. Hope entered his face. Zara raised a hand. Let me finish. He became still. What I feel is real, she said, but some of it belongs to grief. Some belongs to the young woman who never received an ending, and some belongs to the future we imagined before everything was taken from us. And none of it belongs to now? Zara's eyes filled. I do not know yet. Hyun-wook nodded slowly. It was not the answer he wanted, but it was honest. He reached into his jacket and placed a key on her desk. What is this? Zara asked. The key to the apartment we plan to live in. You kept it? Yes. Why are you giving it to me? Because I finally understand that keeping our old life untouched was not love. It was refusal. Zara stared at the key. Hyun-wook stepped back. If you choose me, it should not be because I preserved a memory. It should be because we can build something new. And if I do not choose you? He swallowed. Then I will let the apartment go. The words cost him. Zara could see it. For the first time, Hyun-wook was not trying to pull her backward. He was giving the past an ending. That afternoon, Tae-gyeom arrived at Zara's office. Unlike Hyun-wook, he did not enter until Amara confirmed that Zara had agreed to see him. He carried a thick file. Zara looked at it. The complete records? She asked. Yes. He placed the file on her desk. Inside were payment authorizations, internal messages, and evidence of Tae-gyeom's private agreement with Madame Cha. Tae-gyeom explained each document without hiding his role. He had signed the initial surveillance payment. He had not known Zara's identity. After the investigation found no threat, he had ordered the contract closed. Tae-gyeom continued it secretly. Madame Cha paid him to alter Zara's contact records and prevent Hyun-wook's investigators from finding her. Zara turned another page. A handwritten order carried Tae-gyeom's signature. Confirm the subject is safe. Do not interfere with her movement. She looked up. What is this? My original instruction. You were protecting me? I was protecting an unidentified woman whom I'd been told might be threatened by the Cha family's enemies. Then why did Tae-gyeom make me leave? Because he wanted Hyun-wook emotionally unstable before a major board vote. Your disappearance weakened him and strengthened his mother's control over Chaewon. Zara stared at the documents, so neither of you was the real target. You were used to damage both families. She closed the file. And you discovered all this before the gallery? Most of it. How much did you hide? Tae-gyeom did not look away. I knew my signature was on the payment. I knew Tae-gyeom had continued the contract. I did not know about the altered addresses or the medical record. Why did you wait to tell me? Fear. The answer surprised her. Tae-gyeom continued. I have faced men who wanted my position. I have faced investigations, betrayals, and wars inside my organization. None of them frightened me as much as the possibility that the truth would return you to Hyun-wook. Zara's eyes softened, but her voice remained firm. You still should have told me. Yes. You tested my reaction at the engagement party. No, I did not know he would recognize you until he entered the ballroom. Did you know he was the man from my past? Not before that night. Zara studied him. Why should I believe you? You should not believe me because I ask. Verify every document. Speak to Juntae, speak to the investigators, then decide. He pushed the file toward her. No hidden pages, he said. No controlled explanation. Zara looked at the engagement ring. Tae-gyeom, I told Hyun-wook about the pregnancy. His expression changed, but he remained silent. He was the father. She continued. I understood that. He still loves me. I understand that too. And I still have feelings for him. Tae-gyeom's jaw tightened. Zara saw the pain pass through his face, but he did not become angry. Thank you for telling me, he said. That cannot be all you feel? It is not. What do you feel? Jealousy, anger, fear. He stepped closer. And the desire to remove him from Seoul long enough for you to forget his face. Zara raised an eyebrow. Tae-gyeom continued. But desire is not the same as action. Despite the heaviness of the moment, a faint smile touched her mouth. Tae-gyeom noticed but did not smile back. I will not ask you to choose today, he said. Why? Because the woman I want to marry should not make the decision while she is grieving two different versions of her life. Zara looked at him carefully. And if I choose him? His eyes held hers. I will remain the man I was before you. The Mafia boss? Yes. You will not destroy him? No. You will not interfere with my company? No. Can you truly let me go peacefully? Tae-gyeom was silent for several seconds. I can let you go without punishing you, he said. Peace may take longer. It was the most honest answer he could have given. By the end of the week, the three of them had reached an agreement. No more private investigations against one another. No business attacks. No surprise visits. No public statements about Zara's personal life. Tae-gyeom and Hyun-wook would cooperate long enough to expose Tae-gyeom and Madame Cha's conspiracy. After that, Zara would make her decision without pressure. The arrangement did not make the men friends, but it changed the conflict. They stopped fighting over who possessed Zara. They began showing her who they truly were. Hyun-wook acted first. He called an emergency meeting of Chaewon Group's board. Madame Cha sat at the head of the table, surrounded by loyal directors. Hyun-wook placed the evidence before them. His mother's face remained composed. You would embarrass this family for a relationship that ended 6 years ago? She asked. No, Hyun-wook said. I am correcting what this family did to an innocent woman. You are the chairman because I protected you. I became chairman while carrying the damage your protection caused. Madam Cha looked at the directors. This is a private family matter. No, Hyun-wook said. You used company resources, investigators, and political funds. That makes it a corporate matter. He suspended her authority over the family foundation. He ordered an independent review. He restored every document connected to Zara. Madam Cha stared at her son. You are choosing that woman over your mother. Hyun-wook's voice remained calm. I am choosing accountability over fear. For the first time, he broke the hold his family had kept over him. He did not do it to win Zara. He did it because it was right. Tae-gyeom handled Tae-jin differently. He summoned the senior leaders of his organization to a private council meeting. Tae-jin attended through a video connection from an unknown location. You have become weak, Tae-jin said. A woman has made you question every decision. Tae-gyeom sat at the head of the table. No, he said. A woman made me examine the decisions I should have questioned years ago. Several advisors exchanged looks. Tae-jin laughed. You signed the contract. Yes. You benefited from my work. I benefited from your loyalty until I discovered it never existed. Tae-gyeom displayed the financial evidence. Tae-jin had stolen from the organization, accepted secret payments, and used private security teams for political manipulation. Tae-gyeom did not order a violent punishment. He froze Tae-jin's accounts. He removed his authority. He handed the criminal evidence to investigators whose loyalty Tae-jin could not purchase. Then Tae-gyeom changed the rules inside his organization. No private surveillance contract could be approved by one leader alone. No medical or family records could be accessed without independent review. His empire remained powerful. He remained its mafia boss, but secrecy would no longer protect men who abused his name. Tae-jin's image disappeared from the screen. Juntae approached. He escaped the property before the authorities arrived. Tae-gyeom's expression remained calm. He will contact Zara. Why? Because she is the only person he believes can still divide us. That evening, Zara received a message from an unknown number. I have the original medical file. Meet me alone if you want to know what happened at the clinic. A photograph followed. It showed the private clinic in Singapore. Zara stared at the screen. Her first instinct was to call Tae-gyeom. Her second was to contact Hyun-wook. Instead, she called both. They met at her office 30 minutes later. Zara placed the phone on the table. Hyun-wook read the message. He wants you alone, he said. I noticed. Tae-gyeom examined the photograph. He does not have anything you need. You do not know that, Zara said. He accessed your medical records. He wants you emotional. Hyun-wook nodded. Tae-gyeom is right. The agreement from Hyun-wook surprised Zara. What do you suggest? She asked. Tae-gyeom looked at Hyun-wook. We give him what he thinks he wants. Hyun-wook understood. A meeting. With Zara appearing alone, Tae-gyeom said. Zara folded her arms. You are both planning around me again. Tae-gyeom stopped. You are right. Hyun-wook looked at her. What do you want to do? Zara considered the question. Then she said, I will meet him. Tae-gyeom's expression hardened, but he remained silent. I will wear a recording device, Zara continued. Both of you will remain nearby. You will not enter unless I give the signal. Hyun-wook asked, what signal? I will say, the past ends here. Tae-gyeom looked at her. And if we lose communication? You come in. Neither man liked the plan, but both accepted it. That mattered more than agreement without trust. The meeting took place the following night inside an unused theater. Zara entered alone. The stage lights came on. Tae-jin stood in the center of the empty auditorium. He was older than Tae-gyeom, with the same controlled posture but none of his restraint. You came? Tae-jin said. You expected me. I expected grief to make you careless. It made me tired of men using my life as leverage. Tae-jin smiled. You still believe this is about you? No, Zara said. It was always about weakening Hyun-wook and controlling Tae-gyeom. His smile faded slightly. You are more intelligent than they realize. They realize it. That is why they are waiting for me to handle this. Dae-jin glanced toward the doors. You brought them. I brought witnesses. He stepped closer. Zara held her ground. What happened at the clinic? She asked. Nothing beyond what the record states. Then why claim you had the original file? To bring you here. What do you want? I want Tae-gyeom to surrender control of the organization. And you believe he will do that for me? He nearly destroyed a partnership because another man looked at you. That was before he learned restraint. Dae-jin's expression hardened. You have weakened him. No, Zara said. I gave him something worth protecting without becoming cruel. He laughed. You think love changed him? I never asked him to change. Then why is he cooperating with Hyun-wook? Because both men finally understood that destroying each other would not make me choose either of them. Dae-jin took another step. You believe you are powerful because two men love you. Zara's gaze remained steady. I was powerful before either man entered my life. From a hidden room, Tae-gyeom listened. Hyun-wook stood beside him. Neither spoke. Dae-jin looked at Zara's engagement ring. You put it back on. Zara glanced at her hand. Yes. So you have chosen. I have. Hyun-wook's face changed inside the hidden room. Tae-gyeom did not look at him. Dae-jin smiled coldly. Then Hyun-wook loses again. No, Zara replied. He gained the truth. Sometimes that is the only peaceful ending available. Dae-jin reached inside his jacket. Tae-gyeom moved toward the door. Hyun-wook caught his arm. Wait. Dae-jin removed a phone, not a weapon. He played an audio recording. Madame Cha's voice filled the theater. Make the woman disappear. My son will recover. Then Dae-jin's younger voice answered, and Tae-gyeom. He will sign whatever you place before him. Zara listened. The recording proved Tae-gyeom had not knowingly targeted her. It also proved Dae-jin and Madame Cha had planned everything together. Why give me this? Zara asked. Because I want immunity. You kidnapped my history, exposed my medical records, and tried to destroy 3 lives. I can expose Madame Cha. She has already been exposed. Dae-jin's confidence slipped. Zara continued. Tae-gyeom removed you from the organization. Hyun-wook suspended his mother. The evidence is already with investigators. Dae-jin looked toward the doors. You trapped me. No, Zara said. You trapped yourself when you believed our pain would keep us divided. He moved toward her. Zara spoke clearly. The past ends here. The theater doors opened. Tae-gyeom entered with juntae and legal authorities. Hyun-wook followed. Dae-jin looked from one man to the other. You are working together? Hyun-wook answered, only until you are no longer a threat. Tae-gyeom remained calm. You used my name without permission. You stole from the organization. You targeted the woman I love. Dae-jin smiled bitterly. And you will forgive the man trying to take her? Tae-gyeom looked at Hyun-wook. No. Hyun-wook almost smiled. Tae-gyeom continued. But disliking him does not require me to destroy him. Dae-jin was taken away without a violent confrontation. The plan he built on rivalry failed because the two men chose restraint. Zara stood in the center of the stage. The danger was over, but one decision remained. Outside the theater, Hyun-wook approached Zara. Tae-gyeom remained several feet away. You said you chose, Hyun-wook said. Zara looked at him. Yes. He nodded, already understanding. Tae-gyeom? Yes. Pain crossed his face, but he did not argue. May I ask why? Zara looked toward Tae-gyeom, then back at the man she had once loved. What we had was real, she said. It shaped me. Losing it hurt me more than I knew how to express. Hyun-wook listened silently. When you returned, part of me wanted to become the woman I was before everything happened. Zara continued. I wanted those years returned. I wanted the future we lost. I wanted that too. I know. She stepped closer, but I was not remembering only you. I was remembering who I was when I loved you. Hyun-wook's eyes filled. And that woman no longer exists? She exists inside me, but she is not the woman choosing her future. He looked toward Tae-gyeom. You love him more? Zara answered carefully. I love him in the life I am living now, not in a life I wish had happened. The truth hurt, but it also released something inside Hyun-wook. He nodded. I kept thinking the truth would bring you back. It brought me peace. Just not the ending I wanted. No. Hyun-wook looked down briefly, then he reached into his pocket and removed the apartment key. He placed it in Zara's hand. I was going to sell it, he said. You should. I will. Zara closed her fingers around the key and then returned it. That future belonged to both of us. You should be the one to let it go. Hyun-wook accepted it. Will you still be part of my life? Zara's expression softened. Not immediately. He gave a sad smile. That is fair. One day, perhaps we can remember each other without wanting to change the ending. Hyun-wook nodded. I would like that. He stepped back, then he looked at Tae-gyeom. She chose you. I heard, Tae-gyeom said. Hyun-wook's mouth curved faintly. Do not make me regret accepting it. Tae-gyeom replied, I make no promises designed for your comfort. Zara gave both men a warning look. Hyun-wook laughed softly for the first time. Then he walked away. He did not lose his dignity. He did not become an enemy. He became a man who finally understood that love could be genuine, even when it did not end in possession. Zara turned toward Tae-gyeom. He remained where he was. You are not coming closer? She asked. I am waiting. For what? To know whether choosing me means you are ready to wear the ring again. Zara lifted her hand. The diamond was already there. Tae-gyeom's composure changed. When did you put it back on? He asked. Before I entered the theater. Why? Because I did not want Daejin's actions to make my decision. Tae-gyeom moved closer. And Hyun-wook? I spoke to him with honesty. Do you still love him? Zara considered the question. A part of me always will. Tae-gyeom's jaw tightened. She placed her hand against his chest. But loving what someone meant to you is not the same as choosing a life with them. His eyes remained on hers. And you choose me? Yes, without fear? With some fear, Zara admitted. You are still a mafia boss. I have never hidden that. I know. I will remain one. I know that too. I will still protect my organization. And I will still challenge you when your decisions affect innocent people. Tae-gyeom's mouth curved faintly. I expected nothing less. Zara looked at him seriously. No more secrets presented as protection. No more leaving before hearing the truth. She raised an eyebrow. That condition is for me? Yes. Then we both have work to do. Tae-gyeom placed one hand gently against her cheek. I do not need you to make me a different man, he said. I need you to know the man you are choosing. I do. He leaned closer. Are you certain? Zara smiled. You have asked me that question enough. Then she kissed him. The kiss carried relief, longing, and the quiet certainty of two people who had nearly lost each other without ever truly letting go. Tae-gyeom held her carefully. The city moved around them, but for that moment, there was no rivalry, no hidden record, no unfinished past, only a decision freely made. 3 months later, Tae-gyeom and Zara held a smaller engagement celebration. There were no hundreds of guests, no public announcement, only close friends, trusted colleagues, and a few members of Zara's family who had traveled to Seoul. Zara wore a deep gold gown. Tae-gyeom stood beside her in black. Hyun-wook did not attend. Instead, he sent a simple gift. It was Zara's first business proposal, professionally restored and framed. A note was attached. The future you described in these pages belongs entirely to you. I am glad you built it. Zara read the message twice. Then she placed the frame inside her office. Not as a promise of returning, as proof that some love stories could end with gratitude instead of bitterness. Hyun-wook later sold the apartment he had preserved for 6 years. He used part of the money to create an international business scholarship for foreign students in South Korea. He named no one, but Zara understood. He had finally turned regret into something useful. Madame Cha resigned from the family foundation and faced a formal investigation. Hyun-wook remained chairman of Chaewon Group. This time, he led without allowing his mother's approval to control his decisions. His first major partnership was with Kalu International Strategy. Zara accepted only after ensuring the agreement was professionally fair. Their meetings were respectful. The history between them did not disappear, but it no longer controlled them. Tae-gyeom remained the leader of his organization. He did not abandon his empire. He did not pretend love had transformed him into an ordinary businessman. He remained disciplined, powerful, and feared by those who challenged his authority. But his leadership changed in one important way. No person under his command could use secrecy to harm innocent people without accountability. Juntae once asked whether Zara had changed him. Tae-gyeom looked through the glass wall of his office. Zara was leading a meeting in the adjoining conference room. "No," Tae-gyeom said. "She made it impossible for me to ignore what was already wrong." That evening, Zara found him waiting outside her office. "You've been standing there for 10 minutes, she said. "You were speaking. You could have entered." "You dislike interruptions." Zara smiled. "You are learning." "I learn quickly." They walked toward the elevator together. Tae-gyeom pressed the button. "Our wedding date," he said. Zara looked at him. "What about it?" "You have delayed choosing one for 3 months." "I have been busy." "You run a company, you will always be busy." "Are you becoming impatient?" "Yes." Zara stepped into the elevator. Tae-gyeom followed. "Next spring," she said. He looked at her. "Is that an answer?" "Yes." Tae-gyeom pressed the button to stop the elevator before the doors closed. Zara laughed. "What are you doing?" "Confirming that I heard correctly." "You heard correctly. Next spring." "Yes." He leaned closer. "You will not disappear?" Zara's smile faded into tenderness. "No." "You will not remove the ring?" "Not unless you give me a reason." "I will remove every reason." "You cannot control everything." "No," Tae-gyeom said, "but I can control what I do." Zara touched his face. "That is enough." The elevator doors closed. The following spring, Zara walked into a private garden overlooking Seoul. White flowers lined the aisle. Her family sat on one side. Tae-gyeom's trusted circle sat on the other. There were no reporters, no business negotiations, no political guests trying to measure the value of the marriage, only people who understood what it had cost them to reach that moment. Tae-gyeom waited at the end of the aisle. He wore black, as Zara expected. His expression remained controlled until she reached him. Then the feared Mafia boss smiled. It was not the smile he gave during negotiations. It was private, vulnerable, entirely hers. When the officiant asked whether Zara chose him freely, she looked into his eyes. "Yes," Zara said, "I choose him with the truth." Tae-gyeom took her hand. "And I choose her without demanding that she erase the life she lived before me." The ceremony ended beneath the evening light. Later, they stood alone on the balcony of their home, Seoul stretched beneath them. Zara rested her head against Tae-gyeom's shoulder. "Do you ever think about the night Hyun-wook entered the engagement party?" she asked. "Yes." "What do you think?" "That I should have checked the guest list more carefully." Zara laughed. Tae-gyeom placed an arm around her, then his voice became serious. "I think he gave you something I could not." "What?" "The truth about your past." Zara looked up at him. "And you gave me something he could not." "What?" "A future that belongs to the woman I became." Tae-gyeom touched her cheek. "Are you happy?" "Yes." "Certain?" Zara smiled. "There you go again. I prefer certainty. And I prefer honesty." "Then answer honestly." Zara moved closer. "I am happy, I am certain, and I am exactly where I chose to be." Tae-gyeom kissed her beneath the Seoul lights. He remained a Mafia boss. She remained a powerful woman with her own name, company, and voice. Neither had to disappear for the other to feel complete. The two powerful men had once believed love required victory, but Hyun-wook learned that letting go could also be an act of love. Tae-gyeom learned that protecting Zara did not mean controlling her, and Zara learned that closing the door on the past did not require denying that it had once mattered. She did not choose the man who fought the loudest. She chose the man whose love gave her room to hear the truth and still return freely, because real love does not erase the past. It gives a person the courage to face it, learn from it, and choose what comes next. If Zara's journey touched you, subscribe to Afro-Korean romance movies, share this story with someone who believes love should come with honesty and respect, and tell us in the comments. Did Zara make the right choice, or would you have chosen Hyun-wook?